You remember everything, not just birthdays and anniversaries, not just the important things. You remember the exact seat you were sitting in when someone said something that changed you. You remember the tone of voice. You remember what they were wearing. You remember the pause before they said it, and what that pause felt like in your chest. And people think that's sweet, or useful, or impressive, until it isn't. Until you bring up something from 4 years ago and watch the room go cold. Until someone says, "How do you even remember that?" Not with admiration, but with suspicion. Like your memory is a weapon. Like you've been keeping files. Like the fact that you didn't forget means you chose not to, and that's somehow dangerous. You've been called intense. You've been called sensitive. Someone once told you that you hold on to things too long. And every time, you felt that same quiet frustration. The frustration of being misread by people who think memory is just a storage system, when for you, it has always been something else entirely. But psychology is here to tell you something different. Your memory is not a glitch. It's not emotional immaturity. It's not a failure to move on. It is a specific and sophisticated way of being in the world. And the people who've made you feel strange for it never understood what they were actually looking at. Here's the first thing you need to understand. Most people experience the world in motion. Things happen, they feel something, they move on. Their memory is like a river, constantly flowing, constantly replacing what was there before with whatever is coming next. Events blur, details fade, the emotional charge dissipates. But your memory is not a river, it's an archive. When something happens to you, your brain doesn't just log the event, it logs the sensory data, the emotional weight, the context, the meaning. It cross-references it against everything similar that's ever happened before. And it stores all of it, not as a random file, but as a living document that it keeps updating every time something new connects to it. This is what psychologists call episodic memory encoding at high fidelity. And research consistently shows that people who process emotions deeply also encode memories more vividly. Your emotional intensity isn't separate from your memory, it is your memory. The reason you remember is because you felt it, and the reason you felt it is because you were paying attention when everyone else had already mentally left the room. 8. Now here's what most people never consider. What remembering everything actually costs you. People assume it's a gift with no downside. They don't see the part where you relive things, where a smell, a song, a specific quality of afternoon light, pulls you back into something years old with the same emotional charge it had the first time, where you can't skim your own past, where you have to feel it, again, every time the archive opens. You don't get to forget. Not really. The argument that ended a friendship, the moment you were publicly humiliated, the version of yourself you're not proud of. While others move past those things naturally, you have visited them hundreds of times, not because you're punishing yourself, but because that's what a high-fidelity archive does. It doesn't let the important files compress into something smaller and less painful. This is the part nobody talks about. You are not just a person who remembers good things clearly. You are a person who cannot escape the vivid things, good or painful, until you fully process them. There's something else underneath your memory that most people overlook, and it is the most important piece. You remember everything because you were watching everything. When most people are in a room, they're in the conversation. They're thinking about what to say next, how they're coming across, whether people find them interesting. Their attention is split between the external and the internal. But you were always more interested in what was actually happening, the subtext, the contradiction between what someone said and how they said it, the way a person's energy shifted when a specific topic came up, the thing that didn't get said that explained everything. You weren't just present, you were reading the room, constantly, automatically, the way other people breathe, and because you were reading so closely, your brain had no choice but to keep what it found. Your memory is a byproduct of your attention. And your attention is something most people will never fully understand because they've never had it operating at that level inside them. But here's the question that matters. If this causes so much pain, the reliving, the detail, the inability to simply forget, why does this kind of mind exist at all? Because the group needed it. Every human community throughout history had people who remembered, not just events, patterns, who betrayed the tribe before, which alliance broke under pressure, which warning sign showed up before the last disaster. Those people were not liabilities. They were the ones who kept the group from making the same catastrophic mistakes twice. Research in the field of autobiographical memory suggests that individuals with heightened emotional memory encoding play a critical social function. They carry the relational and historical truth of a group that others, in their forward motion, are too busy to retain. You are not stuck in the past. You are holding the past so that the people around you don't have to. So here is what I want to say to you directly. Stop apologizing for what you remember. Stop softening it with, "I know it was a long time ago," but stop shrinking the detail you hold because it makes other people uncomfortable to realize they don't remember something that clearly mattered to you. Your memory is not a problem that needs to be solved. It is not excess emotion that needs to be managed. It is a form of fidelity. to the truth of what happened, to the people you've loved, to the versions of yourself you've lived through. Yes, you will feel things longer. Yes, you will carry weight that others set down easily. But you will also love more specifically, see more clearly, and understand people at a depth that most human beings will never reach. Because understanding requires memory, and memory requires the kind of attention you have been giving your whole life without ever being thanked for it. There's one more thing. When someone says to you, "Why do you still remember that?" what they're really asking is, why did that matter to you when it didn't matter to me? And that's not a criticism. That's an admission. They're telling you that they moved through that moment without feeling it the way you did. And somewhere, beneath the defensiveness, they know that you were the one who was actually there. You don't remember everything because you can't let go. You remember everything because you were never willing to look away. If this described you in a way you've never heard before, share this with someone who needs to hear it. And drop a comment below. What's the one memory you have that other people are shocked you still hold on to? And why does it still matter to you? I read every single one. And if this channel has ever made you feel understood, subscribe. There's a lot more where this came from,